Hi everyone, this is Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and I'm trying again to record a video. Had all kinds of problems here with my computer, and I've actually moved everything over to a new motherboard, a much faster computer, and moved the hard drives over, and I'm still having issues. It's freezing up on me and crashing. I think it's bad RAM, because I already had 4 gigabytes of RAM in this new computer, but I took the 4 gigabytes of RAM from the old computer and moved it to the new, so I'd have 8 gigabytes of RAM, because I need more RAM because I open up a lot of programs and a lot of browsers, I'll have 100 windows open at any given time between 4 or 5 different browsers, and like 20, 30, 40 tabs in each one. So I have a lot, so I need more RAM, but I think I got some bad RAM. But anyway, we're on my site right now. I will get it fixed eventually here, so just have some patience with me. We're on my site right now, and I took off one of the advertisers that was causing some pop-ups. So please let me know if you're still getting pop-ups. You shouldn't anymore. This is a Google ad. And this, of course, is on my personal friends. It's not an ad. It's my personal friend. And this is a Google ad, which is fine. And this is by BizRate here. This one's here by Google. But I had one down here by a company called Bidvertiser. I believe it was the company that I was using. It was causing pop-ups. It was very, very annoying. So hopefully that's fixed for all you guys. Okay, so I wrote a new, well, you might as well call that a new post. I wrote it so long, but it was basically what I was going to tell you here about what's going on and what I think. Tempest, I think, has got it right. I think we're going to hit the fake print next week, but I think it's going to be a buying opportunity. So just like he says there, I do think that, so I think that is going to be the downside print. I think we're going to get faked out. Let me move this here. And let's just look here at this. I think we're going to get faked out next week for a bullish options expiration week. I think it's going to go down. I think there's probably a lot of call buyers right now, and it's too bullish. I think they're going to take it down. We're looking on Cobra's blog right now at the TLT, which is the reverse. The bonds, they go the opposite direction of the market, and we can see we've hit a major trend line right here that's all the way back from this April high in the market, which is a low in the TLT. So I do expect it to bounce here and go back up, and which will give us our sell-off next week. So I am looking for that to happen. Also, as you can see, we're in overbought territory on the SPY, so we need a pullback, no question. We're in a rising wedge. Clearly, we got a black bar here on the SPY. There's a black bar. Obviously they're usually marked reversals. There's 1, 2 black bars, and then one thrust higher to fake everyone out, which could happen Monday. We could open up Monday and just boom, gap up real quick and then fall the rest of the week, just to kind of wipe out any bears that go short today, because there will be some bears that go short over the weekend. So be aware of that if you decide to go short, that they could very well just pop it up. Now, the reason I'm saying that is based upon, well, let me look here at the other one. Okay, here's the VIX. Looking at the VIX, as you can see, we've drawn a line down here. If I was to draw a line right through here, you can see we bounced off that line and rejected it, bounced back up, and then we fell back down. So this move in here, if you exclude this one pattern right here, this move right here is definitely a bearish falling or bullish wedge, because it's a falling wedge. So it does need a breakout, which would be a sell-off next week. So even though it's still going down here today and curled over, I do believe it's going to curl back up, and next week we are going to have a little bit of selling. On the here on the 15-minute, you can clearly see again. You can draw some lines yourself and use your imagination. You can see that this is a rising wedge. 60-minute, it's even more apparent, and you can see here the way that it is working its way back up into positive territory. That's what leads me to believe that Monday could be a final gap up, and I'm going to give you another reason for that as well. But we've seen it happen. Remember, it happened here. Look at this move right here. Look what happened. We had this big move up right here, chop sideways, and there were probably some bears that went short here, probably went short here. They got stopped out. They went back here. They got stopped out. Then the Monday came and boom, gap up and then sell off. So, and you know, they very well could do that exact same thing. I think they're going to hit the 11:15 target. And so this is showing that we could have a final pop up. Now, it shouldn't be no big tower like this. It should be a smaller one, more like this one here, or maybe this one here, a small one. Okay, and then it should roll back over. It's just a quick pop to take out all the stops, the overhead stops, and wipe out any bears, scare them out of the market, and then turn around and tank it just like they did here. They're notorious for that. You can see here, chop, 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 sell off, fake out the bears, boom, rally back, and then boom, right up there. Just one big quick pop, then down, back up one more time, and then finally down. So it's just a game they play. So be aware of that Monday, if we do not hit, if we don't rally up into the close and hit the 111.15, then that's what I'm expecting to happen. And actually, I think it was on Cobra's blog that I was looking at that I kind of spotted where I was seeing a line. I think it was, there it is, right here. It is this line right here. I think that's the 200-day moving average, if I'm not mistaken. And then you get your 50 and your 50 and your 20 here. So this leads me to believe a pop up here to hit this, to tag this. I mean, they're there. You know, they should be hitting it before they sell off. On Cobra's site, you can clearly see some of the things he's pointed out. Tell us that you know, a short-term top is definitely here. This was very, very interesting on the well, what the heck just happened there? Log in. Why am I not online? I should be online right now. I do not know why I'm not online. Okay, let's refresh this page. Nope. God dog it. This drives me nuts. Why are we not online? I'm sitting here recording, and apparently I'm not online. So I'm going to pause this a second and get back to you when I get online. Hopefully we don't lose this video. Okay, gang, sorry about that. I don't know. I think my Firefox is corrupted because it's still not working. I had to go into another browser. So I went into this freebie browser that's not my favorite, but I use lots of browsers. This is called Maxthon or something like that. You know, Maxthon 2 or something. So strange browser, but when I go here and try to go to it, as you can see, oh, there it came back up. Alright, maybe it wasn't corrupted. Okay, so anyway, so what I was trying to tell you, what Cobra pointed out is very well, he's clearly shown here, you know, we are in a rising wedge. I agree, definitely. Of course, it can continue up, and we've seen it fake and pop out. Matter of fact, whenever something pops out of a rising wedge, there's, I think statistically, there's a 90% chance that it will reverse and fall back in. So that is just an exhaustion gap. You call it a gap up. I'm not saying it's going to happen on Monday, but be aware of that. So the other thing he was pointing out here was this, very, very, very important. The CPCI, that's the put to call ratio, and you know, it's indicating oh, what am I looking at? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong chart. This is obviously for this day right here, for it's indicated at the bottom. Okay, now there was another chart he was showing me that, or showing everyone, not just me. I like to read his stuff because he throws out there some statistics that I can't even, you know, see myself. But you can certainly find his link on my site and go to it. He is here. If you haven't, if you don't know where most of my links are, in the blog roll right here. You can see Cobra's blog. So most of you already know that. You already go and visit his stuff. So He's a good guy. I like him. But anyway, so we got the TLT right here. We got this hitting a trend line, telling us we should be going. It should bounce off of this trend line. Maybe it goes back up here and hits this moving average line right here, then reverses back. So you got to get him buried right here, and tried to turn around once and tried to turn around a second time. So I think it is going to turn around. You've got the market here getting ready to go up here to this moving average. I think it's the 200 line, 200 day on the daily on the SPX. So I think it's going to hit there. You've got this as a rising wedge. Again, you've got the 60-minute histogram bars already worked themselves off through the oversold conditions and going up. So you've got, you know, all kinds of reasons to say that we should have one little pop either today to hit the 111.15 or Monday. I think that's what they're going to do, and then I think we're going to roll over. But the fact that this has not went up here and hit like positive 10 tells me that it's likely to do one of these numbers. Just roll down, possibly go into negative territory, but then roll back up and do this again, and do this several times. And all the time that the market, or that the daily is doing this, the weekly should be going up and putting in its few bars that we are looking for, which is, again, right here. So the weekly should be, so basically the weekly supporting the daily, and that's why it would keep the daily from falling in too far into negative territory. We kind of go up here, put in 1 or 2 bars or something like that. Depends on the amount of stimulus they put in here. You know, I think from yesterday's, if we go down here to a post by, let's see, who put this up here for me, that they posted a link about this guy, and you should definitely go see it if you guys haven't, but you've been on the blog. For most of you have been on the blog. For those of you who just see me on YouTube, you definitely need to go to the blog and read some of the comments and stuff that is on here, because that's where we try to, you know, stay in touch, and anything that changes we post it on there. Here it is. This right here, the guy posts a interesting video, and you should, called the Vulcan Report, and you definitely should go watch this out. He definitely thinks that we are going up. He, you know, claims he's heard the word on the street that the bears are going to get slaughtered. You throw that in there with the fake print that I got from, you know, months back of the Dow Jones Diamond Spider Trust being at 118.16, which is, again, is about 11,800 area, which would be about 1260 to 1280 range, which would take out this top. You do that, and I mean, just think about that. If you ran this into November, December, or whatever it took, and you ran it up here and took out that, then, you know, that could be one final throw for the gangsters before they just fall off a cliff in 2011. 2011 has no political agenda to keep the market up. There's no elections. There's no reason for them to do it. I mean, if they're going to take it down, then they can certainly do it. Now, I'm not saying that we can't go down to this 8,300 print. A lot of people, you know, still have us in this primary wave 3. I'm just not convinced that upside print is what really gets me worried. If we didn't have that upside print, then, you know, I'd say, yeah, you know, maybe we should be going down 1, 2, 3, like the chart pattern guys got it labeled. And it's still possible we could go do that, but I just don't know. You can see here we did a little crisscross action there as we hit it. We went down and we went back up, and that might be what we do. Maybe we go down here to 8,300 this month and then rally back up, and maybe don't take this out. That's a possibility too. But again, this weekly, you know, I expect a few bars. I'm sorry, guys. I expect a few bars up there, so before it rolls over. And so that means September, you know, could be an up month. So, but next week, I'm looking for that downside print, guys. I am definitely looking on the downside for the 105.39 print next week. So, all right, that's my video update. Hopefully, my computer doesn't crash. Thanks, guys.